Celtics, they allow the Heat back into the game, and they go on an 11-0 run towards the end. I mean, is that a cause for concern as we look at the Celtics now facing the Golden State Warriors?
Major. In fact, there were already concerns for me about the Celtics' ability to win a championship when they didn't win a home game in Game 6 to put the series away. You had a wounded animal, a tired team, a beaten-up team in the Heat. They come in, they punch you in the mouth, and then you lose a home game in an elimination game to get to the NBA Finals. So that's my first concern. And then here, the game's on lock. 4 minutes to go, up 13. The game's locked up. It's done. Just make a couple of free throws, which Marcus Smart did. Have a couple of good possessions, which didn't happen, and then you win the game. Instead, they almost lose it. And that, to me, is a major concern.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus Smart took their last 5 shots, Amari.
Yeah, you know what happened was, what it seems like to me is that when they started the game out, you saw Boston playing at a high tempo. They were up and down the court, full speed, nonstop running and just trying to get active from the start of the game. And then toward the end of the game, they kind of got a little tired. And that's why you saw that lapse of that run by the Miami Heat, because the Boston Celtics somewhat got fatigued there down the stretch.
Yeah, you can't have that kind of letdown against the Warriors. Monica, from your perspective, what did you see? Concerns about the Celtics?
A little bit. I think their ability to ultimately close this one out, and Jaylen talked about his focus in terms of getting that offensive rebound. That was huge. It is a little bit concerning, but I think you also have to respect the urgency with which the Heat played for. Alan, I like your analogy of Game 6, a wounded animal. Well, that wounded animal clearly fought for its life and added an extra game. I don't want to dismiss the urgency with which the Heat played, but the Celtics ultimately were able to bring it out. And we talk about the physicality, Amari, to your point. That's a toll on both teams. Both teams shot 24 free throws in Game 7, and so both teams have been banged up by that point, of course.
I think the Celtics should have met that same desperation in Game 6. That's my concern, Monica, is that it's home game. You're in your building. Not an easy place to play either. Amari certainly knows that. And you allowed that team to be more desperate than you. That's what I mean by concern. Do you really understand the importance of an elimination game? How desperate can you reach? What level of desperation can you reach? We saw it better in Game 7. But now in an NBA Finals situation where literally every game is a step closer to the ultimate goal, that's my greatest concern about Boston.
Are you saying they're not a closeout team? They're not good closers?
No, I think that Jayson Tatum showed you that if you'll double him and you'll get the ball out of his hands, he'll be passive and let other people try to get it done.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I think we saw previously in the series where we saw Marcus Smart turn the ball over there in the end of the game a few times. But I do think, Alan's right, because they need to work on that. They need to find a way to be able to close out these games, because those type of mistakes are not going to be feasible when you're facing the Golden State Warriors.
No.
All right, I want to get to Tatum at age 24, leading his team to wins over superstars here in the playoffs. It's the Nets and KD. It's the Bucks and Giannis. Now we have the Heat and Butler. So has Tatum elevated himself to a new superstar status level in the NBA, Monica?
Well, Hannah, we continue to use, I know Alan and I love this analogy, the table analogy, right? Like,
yes.
does he have a seat at the table yet? And I'm not sure he's at the table, but I've got the chair in his house and in the possession. I'm not ready to quite pull it up, because the guys that you mentioned have the actual hardware. The Larry O'Brien rests with their organizations, and so he still has some work to do. And I will say, it's so apropos that he wore Kobe, the 24 band, last night. Yeah. To me, the Mamba mentality is in the fourth quarter, you know exactly where I am. You do not have to ask what I'm about to do and what type of play I'm going to make. And to me, late in games, I will say he is making the right play, possibly, and maybe staying out of the way so that the defense doesn't crowd the space. But to me, he's still got to work on that killer instinct late.
What do you think, Amari?
Yeah, I think Monica's right. If Jayson does get a killer instinct down the stretch, which the great players do have, then he will be at that table. But until then, he needs to make sure he close out these games and then also try to win a championship.
So you don't think he has that now?
I don't think he has it yet, but it's on the way.
How do you learn that?
Well, he had it in Game 6 against the Bucks. You think about how important that game was, and Giannis was trying to win that game, put that series away, and Tatum matched him shot for shot down a whole stretch of that game, which I thought was a critical point. But, is he at the kiddie table? Like, is he at the big chair at the kiddie table, the under 25? Like, you know how it is. We all have the kids' table that we have to graduate to where the adults sit.
Right. It's Thanksgiving. We've got the separate table. So where is he?
We all know how that works.
Is he shuttling back and forth in between the kids' table?
I think
Does he have dessert at the adult table?
It's like, LeBron and Giannis can say like hey, Jayson, you want to come sit with us for a minute? We're gonna have dessert. You come sit with us. Like it's sort of like, oh, you know, and all the other kids look up going, wow, he gets to go sit at the big table. like I do think that he's got the biggest chair at the kid table, the 25 and under group. But to get to that big table, like Monica says, he's got the chair in the house, but to be allowed to sit at the table, he's probably going to need to finish the job here and win a chip.
Yeah, I agree.
So he's at the Luka table.
Oh, yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's a pretty good table.
Right.
I mean, it's a pretty good
That's
table.
a pretty good table. I don't know,
Devin
Monica.
Booker.
Monica, where are we with this analogy?
I mean, I just think the analogy is spot on, guys. But in the under 25 conversation, I think you're a little bit hard pressed to find a guy that has the amount of experience that Jayson has. Like last night post game, he's like, you know, this is my third Eastern Conference Finals in a span of 5 years, and we know it's taken them a minute to get over the hump. You don't become the second youngest player to 1,500 career playoff points to join the company of Kobe and LeBron without having experience. And so, yes, while he's young, I think that he's got to close the deal. He's got to seal the deal.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.